Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look here at Loopring LRC, seeing what's going on. This coin I've covered extensively in the past, but it's been a little while since we've looked at it and it looks absolutely ready to take off. We keep retesting a specific level there, and we want to find out if that's going to break or if it's going to reject. Generally, what could happen next. So if you are new to the channel, keep in mind I'm not a financial advisor. I really just truly do love teaching people how to trade, and I hope that you can learn something here today. Been trading and teaching for over 17 years, coming up on 18 now, and things are looking pretty good here for our community. So if you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site. We got a brand new website up and running with some awesome features. Be sure to check that out. We do have affiliations too with some really awesome exchanges that offer some really cool competition bonuses and sign-on bonuses. ByBit is awesome because it connects directly to my signals. So every time I send out a signal, you could potentially benefit from that with future trading, actually competitions. It's really cool. Same thing with Bitget. Right now we have a $4,000 prize pool for this here. Ends in 9 days, and we got some pretty awesome traders here kicking some tail, and everyone kind of increasing the volume. The higher the volume you get, the more you effectively benefit. Okay, so again, really cool stuff there. And if you want leverage in the United States with no VPN, go ahead and check out MEXC Global. Everything's down below, of course. Really cool exchanges. I'm only affiliated with them because they offer benefits to my community. Obviously, the same thing as well with ExpressVPN. If you want to become a member there and use that, all more power to you. You get a nice free 3 months with them. So again, however you want to look at it, let's go ahead and take a look at LRC. And thank you so much to my community members for requesting that I cover this. I like to see those come through here, so I do appreciate it. What we'll do is we'll first start with some key level supports and resistances. And we'll identify smaller ones on lower time frames. And what's interesting, if you take a look at this here, you can see this level here and this level here working perfectly. 0.5 is a common retracement level anytime you have a parabolic type of increase. Now this isn't parabolic by any stretch, but it is of course a fairly significant up and then a fairly significant down, come right to the halfway mark. So I try to teach that in a lot of ways. If you see, a price shooting in either direction, it'll probably correct itself to at least a halfway point and then continue the other direction. In this case here, it continues upwards, and that is where we're at. So 0.5 at 31.5 cents is essentially the support level, a strong support. We have another potential support here at about 38.5 cents. But for the most part, the most stark thing that we can see here is that 44.5 cents is a close approximate, is a key level resistance that we've retested twice now. Okay, could look like this. I mean, this could be, it's very ugly, but we do have somewhat of a cup and handle pattern forming. So there is a chance that that area could very well be broken in the near future. Okay, so let's take a look at some other stuff here. First of all, we'll take a look at the RSI. We can see we're under 70, still holding in place. That's a very good sign when the RSI comes down and bounces off 50 and comes retesting 70 here. It's a great chance it could continue. We also have an increased amount of volume in the recent past here as well. The volume is outweighing the price, which is a very good sign that tells us we have bullish momentum to the upside. Always pay attention to volume. The more volume you have, the more likely it is to continue in that direction, based on the fact that the bears in this circumstance are starting to lose strength. They're starting to not have any profits to be taken. They're going to start hedging their shorts with longs. That being said, take a look here at the MACD. We can see a convergence here as well, kind of reaffirming the fact that we could have that cup and handle breakout, and the price could and should continue higher. That's a strong likelihood. That being said, let's take a look at the 4 hour and see what else we got. Oh, one last thing, moving averages. Just to touch on this here, we have a potential golden cross here on the horizon, which just implies that right here in this range between 30 and 32 cents is a strong support level. Okay, it's really all it means. It doesn't mean the price is just going to shoot to the moon because it occurs, but it does necessarily tells us that we're in this ascending type of trend, and we can kind of see here, right here, it's running fairly concurrent with this 50-day SMA. That's a very common characteristic. Taking a look at the 4 hour, similar circumstance here for the 200-day set moving average, but we won't worry about that for now. I prefer to use the moving averages on the daily just because they're more consistent. That being said, when we take a look at the 4 hour RSI, we can see we're coming up to 70 as well again. So we got 270 potential retests there. What that really implies, we have a strong resistance level coming up here, and that 44.5 cents should and could work as a resistance initially. So what we could even see here is a smaller type of cup and handle pattern where the price retests that level again. Again, two different scenarios could occur, of course. Obviously, the price could come down as a third scenario, but generally speaking, as long as Bitcoin doesn't take a nosedive, we should be in good shape. And what I mean by that, in fact, let's take a quick peek at that just so you can kind of see it here. This is Loopring, right? You can see the increase here, followed by a decrease here. You look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin has been inevitably increasing, but slowly decreasing, whereas LRC is all over the place. This really tells us a lot about the fact that it's fairly independent of Bitcoin and that we shouldn't experience a dramatic drop, but it also is subject to manipulation based on the fact that this is being a profitable coin right now. Most profitable coins are going to take significant losses if Bitcoin takes at least a moderate loss, right? So if Bitcoin drops below that support level at 20,000, 20,500, we will absolutely see LRC correct itself, okay? Until then, we can expect it to probably continue higher. All right, so that's kind of where we're at there. Let's take a quick look at the CZ sequential. We can see we're at a 9 here, so this concerns me a little bit because in most cases, when you come up to an 8 or a 9, you'll see a pullback, okay? Now, it's not a guarantee, but for the most part, you see 8s or 9s, the price will correct itself, okay? So that leads me to believe we could and should see one more correction that might possibly come down to about 38.5 and come up. So, I mean, for me, honestly, I'd probably set an alert somewhere in the range of the 40-cent mark and see if the price comes down to that level, if it'll continue to bounce. Here's the thing about it too. The most recent high will work as the most recent low in most cases. That's what a good continuation pattern would see. So albeit we are overextended, yes, and the price should pull back. If it were to, it shouldn't go much lower than this level, which was the previous reasons here. Okay. So again, a lot of different scenarios we could look at, but generally speaking, this is it. And we're looking pretty good. Okay. So all in all, fantastic stuff on the daily and the 4-hour. Let's see if the hourly is overextended as well. It's kind of correcting itself naturally, which is good. So this is a fairly healthy continuation, even though this was a significant drop. That's when Bitcoin dropped all the way down to its current price point. LRC has done fairly well for itself in the last 24 to 40 hours. Okay, so bouncing back quite nice. What that basically just means for us is that we're probably going to be above the cloud and we have all green lights to leave our long positions open. So, am I saying to close your position and open a short on the way down to take some profits? No. If you want to do that, of course, feel free. There's a chance it could continue lower. But at this point, most things are telling us that we're bullish and it's going to continue higher. I think the probability of hitting 40 cents is moderately low, but if it were to, that's a place I would consider entry for another long position, because I would be reaffirming the fact that we're making higher lows and higher highs. Okay, those are little patterns you want to pay attention to, but bottom line here, conversion line's got plenty of room here, or lagging span rather. Conversion line's above the baseline, and we're obviously well above the cloud, and hypothetically the price comes down here, should work as a support level too. So there's a lot of positive factors here. So I would say mostly green lights for a long position here. I would just consider waiting for a pullback before you take a long, right? If you're going to do a long position now, consider multiple entries and do not put your entire bag in one trade. I mean, you should never do that anyways, but there's no guarantees this is going to take off. It just looks very likely. All right, so again, statistical probability of further upside than downside. That's basically what we're looking at here. Hopefully this made sense and I described this correctly for you. If you like what you heard here today, consider becoming a member, cryptocash.tech, where you can essentially learn to become a better trader, work with a lot of awesome community traders. We have over 1,000 active members, and it's just a really cool experience. Be sure to check that out in your time. Thanks again for joining me here. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.